It's a great day to be alive. God bless you all. Put your hands up. In a prayer. It's September 30th, 2025. Hello, JM. God bless everybody in here and all of the world. All of the galaxies. JM got the little mushroom. We are the light. We are the shine. Nothing can stop us. Only you can stop you from your goals. The only one that really stops you are your thoughts about it. We are here to help each other. In fact, that's the only reason we are here. Good morning, the rainbow. So we have to become the best version of ourselves. Anybody that gives off negative energy, anybody that sins and lives life unconsciously, well, they're going to have to repay for it. I will be going worldwide next year. Mushroom is from the original Mario. Yeah, like the old pictures of Jesus. And yeah, I played the Mario games. Hello, everybody. We're here to take no shit, which can be hard for some. And we're here to uplift each other. Okay? We're not here to bring people down. We're not here to judge people. We're not here to control people. And we're not here, to hate people, of course. Thank you, Boxman, for the mustache compliment. There's going to be some people that absolutely hate it. Cute brother and sis together on a swing. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you for the donation, Jay. God bless you. Hello, Alabama. I actually heard the Sweet Home Alabama yesterday on the radio. Coincidentally enough. Nothing in your life is a coincidence. Every trial or thing that's complicated in your life is to pull you towards God. God is always pulling us. He pulls us with love. So when you love what you do, that means you're on the path. Hello from Geraldtown. I don't even know where that's at. Good morning from Fayette, North Carolina. Thank you again, Jay. I really appreciate that. All donations are going back into the world because I'm going to be building a real life community, spider webs, so people can enhance their spiritual life. And the only thing that I want is happiness for the world. Am I smarter than a monk? Hold on. I'm not smarter than anybody. God just tells me what he wants me to do. And I follow where the love takes me. In some ways, we are all monks. A monk is something that you see separate as you. A monk is someone searching for God. God is always here. He's here right now. And he's in control of everything. You are a part of it. And once you start thinking positivity, acting out of love, then you too will feel God's love. And he will lead you on the path, whatever that is to you, and what he wants you to do. It's not the same for everybody, but the fundamental feel of all of this, we actually all feel the same. when we get caught up in our mind, which is the material world, when we get caught up thinking too much, then we think all of this really matters. Basically, we start labeling things. And once we start labeling things, we see them as bad. We start judgmenting people. And we have no right to judge anybody. We have no right to hate anybody. So the source of all our emotions and the way we label things, it all comes from inside of us. When anybody hates, actually, when anybody hates, you only hate yourself. You can't hate something outside of yourself. You can only hate your idea about it. So there's only two things you can do in all of existence. It's very simple. You can have your perspective of something, your perspective, which people get glued to this, or you can merge with God. You merge with the feel of the universe, which is the greatest feeling ever. It has nothing to do with a perspective at this point. And when you emerge with God, when you merge with the feel of the universe, you are not thinking. Okay? So it's like being in your intuition 24/7. Okay? How do we know what is right or wrong? There's no debate about this, because God will guide you what he feels is right. You feel what is right. You don't think about it. You feel what is wrong. What a non-conscious person is, what evil really is, they get caught up in their thinking. They do not feel. That's all an evil person is. So if you do not feel, well, then you don't feel life at all. And therefore, you start genocides, and you'll do anything that the mind comes up with. Hello, Carl. Nice rainbow. Hello, overcome anything. The scriptures are made because people have traveled to the astral world, to the spiritual world. That's how so really the scriptures come from exactly what I'm saying. There's a reason why you don't go out and do evil things, negative things. This has nothing to do with the mind. Because they make you feel bad. Anything that feels bad or wrong through the moral compass, that is God directing you. If something feels wrong or not right, then that means you're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah. Yeah. Everything that all the emotions and everything we go through, it's only happening to you. If you label something bad or negative, that's just your label through the mind. Hello, Ayla. Yeah. We are already with the universe. The reason why all of this exists is because we are existing. And it is a fundamental feel. Intellectually, you can never feel because it's meant to be felt, and it is beyond the logic. Your brain is just a communicator and a translator. And we are life. Everybody wants to feel their life. That's why they go and do external things. Some of them we consider evil or negative. But everybody wants happiness. Happiness comes from inside. Our life is always beaming with love and happiness, sharing and caring. It's actually our natural state. Only you cannot share and care. Only you block your happiness. Only you can stop the love, because life itself is living, and it's always living, which is positive. So your thoughts, whatever they may be, especially if they're in the negative, they block the flow of life. So anything that you consider evil is just restricting God's love or the flow of life. That's just your opinion, the way I laugh. If you were to actually feel me and feel, you would never think that. What if you're doing bad and don't feel wrong? You're going to feel it when you die. Dying is coming back into feeling. When you die, whatever that you're seeing right now, so whatever you're thinking and wherever you're seated right now, you go here when you die. You don't really go anywhere. But if you're unconscious of how you're making the world feel, if you're killing animals unnecessarily, bugs and trees, that's when you have to repent for real. So you only do stuff bad when you're in your thinking mind, because your body awareness, which has the moral compass of God, it is the feedback of reality. It tells you when not to do stuff before you even do it. Okay? If I see a evil group of people, my body, before they even come and show me they're evil, I know the energy they're giving off. Okay? Good on. Hello, Jeremy. I don't know what you mean, River Crab. Yeah. Judgment is coming. God bless you all. Yeah. Because you got to think, why are we here? We're here just to feel the life that we are. It's the most amazing experience to be alive. But if you're caught up in your analytical mind, there's no emotions. It's just a bunch of debating in your mind. Anytime you think too much, it hurts. Makes you want to throw up. When you have a question, you want it to be answered. That's why you even have a question. But basically, the real answer is to stop thinking. You want to stop thinking. When you actually turn off your mind, or you become so aware of your mind, you will stop thinking. Hold on. See, I wouldn't go just hit the squirrel, because it would make me feel bad. Life is all around us, and there's no reason to kill anything innocent. We are life itself. Okay? And what happens when you become aware of your thinking? You stare it down, and you keep watching it. You will be aware when you stop thinking. And when you stop thinking, there's no more thinking going on. There's no more problems. There's no more debates. And you get filled with happiness. You become one with God. Yeah. all all the Anytime you cast negativity out, when you make someone else feel bad, or again, killing insects for no reason, anything you do to the environment, because the environment is God himself too, you will, once you leave the body, you will again feel everything. You will become conscious, and you will see all the negative stuff that you did. Yeah, so that is true, Jeremy. Then you're just in pure being. Yeah. That's why God is a pure being. He is thoughtless himself. It's getting rid of all your beliefs. It's getting rid of anything you're thinking about. Everything you think you know. All the identity. All the trauma. And all your problems. Just kidding. We've already discussed the LGBT. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, exactly. He existed in spirit form before coming human. Christ is still alive. Your spirit, the real life, you never die. Only the flesh does. So, when you become negative, caught up in your mind, let's say you're angry. You're not just angry. You're giving angry vibes to all around you. Vibrations. When you're angry, everything around you feels that anger. It goes out to the whole world. The outside world is really an illusion. You have the inside world. This is where everything stems from. So if you're angry, you're giving anger to the whole world. That's why we can feel someone's anger and we don't have to be in their body. Yeah. Everything makes me sick. That's okay. Once we get established in happiness and find the love inside of us, you let everybody do what they want. Whatever you feel that you need to do, you do it out of love for God. You do it out of love for them. Okay, Jeremy. Are you ever born, though? Well, you gotta figure, only your thought, whatever thought that you're currently having in the moment, if you get absorbed into it, so if you're not aware of the thought, There's space between you and it, which is the real you. But if you get absorbed in your thought, then you become the thought. And it's the only thing you know. So you're only really born when you're thinking about something. You're only born into a new thought. So every time you have a thought, you are born into it. When your thought changes, because you only have one thought on your mind at a time, then you're born into another thought. Because what is outside of your thoughts? Thoughts or imagination. And most people get glued to one thought. It's one thought they have. For most people, it's kind of negative. It's a negative thought. But there's a trillion thoughts. There's limitless thoughts you can have. So why are you glued to one thought, especially if it's negative? And we can have different thoughts about the same thing. You could change it. So you could be like, oh, I hate my ex-girlfriend. But if she comes and kisses you and gives you good pleasure, you can change it, which is a neutral thing. Now all of a sudden you love her again. So any viewpoint that you're having, especially of me, you could be like, I hate this guy. Well, then you create a feeling of hate inside of you. If you say, hey, I love this guy, then you'll start smiling and being happy. Hello, Ely. I'm not sure how to say that. That's a great question, Aaron. Garage. I love your profile picture, by the way. I don't know what you mean, river crab. Yeah. Yeah. Hi from New Zealand, Gypsy. We talked about the gypsies yesterday a little bit. Thank you, Lamb. Yeah. Because there is space. There's this space right here. And there's also something keeping you alive. You're not thinking about keeping yourself alive. You don't ever think about really keeping yourself alive. But something's fundamentally keeping you alive. Simply, it's a non-thinking force. And if you go non-thinking, you become and you feel what's keeping you alive. And what is keeping you alive, it is actually a feel. You feel it. It's bursting, it's forever bursting with energy, but it has nothing to do with a concept. We can think about life all we want, but it's when you actually feel the life that you are. And then it guides you where you want to be. Whatever it is. If you follow what you love or what makes you happy, then you get to be in happiness. And if you do what you love, you will automatically go into the state. It's literally pulling on you ever since you were born. Yeah. The only reason why you don't go after it is because you reject it. You don't follow it. No one can make you follow it. Yeah, the Hindus have a similar story, God being everywhere. Yeah, because God is not, he's not like a human being or a person. Okay? He's fundamentally the feel of life. And he's so grand because he's pure love. He's pure he's thoughtless too. And that's why he lets everybody, he accepts everything that goes on. That's why when people say, oh, there's evil, because he's non-judgmental. He loves so much, like the story of Christ, that didn't bother him. The only thing that bothers you, this is what everyone's problem usually is, you let it bother you. The only battle is with your mind. If you just make it go your way, you change it to a positive standpoint, you're automatically going to feel better. And even more so, a lot of stuff that people harp on about, it's from the past. If you accept life right now, then there's no problem. Most people they're fretting. About something that happened before. You're worried, that's just a negative feeling you're projecting. Everybody's right in their own mind. Why would you ever think you're wrong? Everybody can say what they want, and you can do whatever you want, but just know that everybody thinks they're right in their own mind. But eventually, it's going to be, do you actually feel happy? You can know everything in the world, But if you aren't happy, then all that knowledge is pretty useless. Everyone wants the same thing. Even the devil, even evil, they all want to feel life. Life is the source of happiness. Yeah, Dimitri, Buddha and Christ had different ways of explaining their message. None of us are better than one or another. That's only comparing with the mind. None of us are really smarter than one another. The only test is, how happy are you? How much love are you showing? How aggravated are you really getting? Hey, boss. Are you saying that joy comes from God? Yeah. Yeah. And his presence abides earth, and by doing what... Well, you do what makes you feel the best, but it's actually through a feel. It feels right. It has nothing to do with the mind. You'll feel it. Okay? You have to body scan your body. It's why you don't go do a whole bunch of stuff. Because usually you feel bad from it. I'm not just going up and attacking people. I'm not just going and hurting animals. Joy can come from only two ways. One would be just thinking positive, whatever the situation is. So through thinking, but you're going to have to keep reinstalling it. Because whenever something negative, or people eventually go against themselves. That's what it is. I'm not worthy. I can't do this. Okay, that's just the analytical process. But if you feel the life that's inside of you, you get overwhelmed with happiness. You start jumping up and down like a little kid. It's pretty obvious if you don't feel God. That's why kids jump up and down. They're not thinking. But they're also not necessarily aware. God will make you feel so happy that you'll just spread happiness. Yeah. It's not always about spreading it to another human being either. You could spread it to an animal. You could spread it to your dog. You could help an animal. You know, we do know, because what is the devil? We're just going to say an evil spirit. Well, there's good spirits too. And the spirits in the other realms, they watch you. They want to see how we overcome things. You help them in a way. When you become happy, then the whole world gets a little happier. Everything becomes a little happier. You just think it's always about you. And when you think it's all about you, just that limited perspective, then you get into this self-perseverance mechanism. How can it only be about you when there's all of this in the world? There's trees. There's other human beings. There's fish. Okay? Humility, peace, and living in harmony with the Tao. Yeah. Most of the religions and the Buddha and Hinduism, Native Americans, they all, once you get in touch with the earth, you know, no one really wants to hurt someone. They all have the same principles. Okay? No one's more righter than the other one. And then we condemn the other one. But let's say someone is trying to kill the whole world. Whether you're followers of Jesus Christ or you feel God, you're going to take action. You know, and you're going to stop whoever that is. Okay? Yeah. I know people, like, doesn't matter what religion, but let's just say Christianity, they've pretty much ridiculed Native Americans. They call them witches, and they look at them very negatively. Obviously, that's not a true Christian perspective, but you're putting yourself lower by judging them. Okay? So they're basically calling them, like, whatever, negative words, negative thoughts. So how does that make you really loving? That's the opposite teaching of Jesus Christ. You can know anything simply by silencing your mind. When you become still, you can go to the spiritual world. You can find out anything you want to know. But when you become still, God will guide you. When you become stillness, you merge with reality. Reality is not moving like this. This is way too hard to keep up with. So if your mind is moving erratically, you have no focus. Yeah. And then when basically what agitation is from when your mind's moving too fast. Yeah. Your mind affects your nervous system. Basically, the calmer that you are, this is the key to life. The calmer that you are, uh, nothing bothers you. You feel complete happiness. And you have a better chance of feeling God. God is complete calmness. Yeah. Nothing is good or bad. It's only when you label it. Okay? And if you're already in a state of happiness, then nothing's going to affect you. Yeah. Here we go. I came to debate. You will get all the answers the more that you sit still. There are techniques to sit still. Most people don't know them. They're pretty much hidden. But the more calm you become, and the more loving, you will get all the answers. And God is already guiding you. Hell is basically to propel you to go towards good. Yeah. I never said nothing's wrong. What the devil is, he's just negativity. And feeling negativity, a limited perspective, will make you feel negative from the viewpoint of the limited, because you are not limited. Limited wants to break out of its own self because you're not limited. Okay? All negativity is trying to reach positivity. Why? Why would the devil want to rejoice with God? Because he lives in fear. He doesn't know. He don't feel life. He just thinks. All evil comes from thoughts. So, why negativity? Why? Because it sucks. It makes you feel suckage. That's why you want to go to positivity and you actually feel good. That's the only real difference. branch along the Indus Valley civilization. Hmm. Hello, Dimitri. What is? Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. Tard Ferguson. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of look like Trevor. Yeah. People said it before. Yeah. Evil are not thoughts. It depends what you call evil. Again, it's always your description. But evil is going against life. It's negative energy. Okay? So your thoughts, maybe they're negative, doesn't make you a bad person or an evil person per se, but it can bring other negative energy towards you. So that is when a bad spirit would come in. Especially if you're unconscious and have no awareness of your thoughts. Evil can only come to other negative things. You know, that's what it's attracted to. Okay? You met him and you showed him? Yeah. Thank you, nobody. You and your brother seen the devil? Okay. But what does that mean? All it means is the devil gave you a feeling negative. He gave you a feeling of feeling bad. Doesn't matter what he looks like. Doesn't matter if you see him. The devil lives in fear. He lives in rage. That's what they're trying to depict. It doesn't matter who you see. If you've seen God as a person, what does that mean? It would be the feel that he gives you. It'd be the feel. That's how you would know it's him. It's the same aspect. So you can feel him right now. It's all around you. If you accept your past, if you accept love, then you will feel God. God is the feeling of love. You can command your mind, okay? And you can use your willpower to feel this love inside of you. It's also all around you. So Yeah, the only reason you always know your spirit, you just forget it. The soul, the soul only feels. It does not think. That's why you feel what is right. And everything is a positive because it's out of our control. It's in God's control. Everything is already happening. The only way something is negative, if it's your viewpoint about, you change your viewpoint to negativity. Every experience in your life is to bring you closer to feeling God. It's not demanding worship. You're missing the point, or you just don't know it. First of all, that's your idea of whatever you think it is. Worship is two things. One, when you worship something, you basically are eventually going out of your mind and you're appreciating something, which makes you feel good. One, because you have gratitude. Two, because you're not thinking about it anymore. More importantly, why someone would worship at all, first of all, it naturally happens to God because into life itself. It's when you feel so good and so overwhelmed with happiness. You've probably never experienced this, so it wouldn't attain to your mind. But when you do feel the life you are, you feel so blessed. Nothing really matters anymore. You're utterly content. It doesn't matter what happens. You're so in love. You're so in gratitude that you just pray. Maybe you bow down. It's an overwhelming experience that feels so good. Yeah. Could make you cry because how real the feeling is. If I name a brown binary bear, yeah, God is good. It's the feeling of good. We're all trying to get there. Good and evil's a ranking of hierarchy of positive and negative karma. Yeah. People like to talk about the war. Well, if it doesn't matter what you talk about, are you going to do something about it? Okay? If you're doing something about it, great. That means that's what you want to do. But there's a reason why people are in war. There's a reason why people are being killed, diseased. It is a past karmic thing. And most importantly, if it's not happening to you, unless you feel a call to actually do something, then don't let it corrupt your mind, override you. Yeah. How we view the world is just a reaction to it. But if you're always in love, then you have understanding and you're already feeling love. Yeah. It's created inside of you. Yeah. And if we go to war in anger, or if we try to fight whatever you think is injustice, if you do it in anger, you're just spreading anger. Yeah. You have to react out of love and kindness. Why wasn't I taken in the rapture? Yeah. Why don't I start believing in Santa Claus? Because I do more than believe. I actually feel this. Nothing makes me sleep at night because I have no problems. I don't need nothing to make me sleep at night. Yeah. It's all just your thoughts. Or you can let God run through you. You know, some people say, they like to say, I smoke meth, or whatever it is. First of all, I've never done any of that. Even more importantly, which is the worst part, they're just assuming things. They're always assuming things. It's on your mind. It's on their mind. I've never thought about any of those drugs. I've never even thought about them. I've never even seen any of them. So that's completely out of my existence. God doesn't throw it in my path. It's not even there. But the people who talk about drugs, they're the ones that have drugs on their mind. Yeah. So it's funny that people assume that I do drugs or they just say it out of funniness, you'll go to hell just for that. I'm fine. But do you see how people just make assumptions? Yeah. People are always making assumptions about you. It's in their head. They're projecting. They want to control you. They want to mold you to how they think you should be. Yeah. Well, if someone's making assumptions, one assumption may be fine, but they're making assumptions all the time. So it's not just with me. Someone who's negative is usually negative all the time. The Sun 7 Castro, you know, I just, I wouldn't really pay too much mind to that. $10 to $20 a day. Wow. Simon. Alcohol is hard drugs. Yeah, I mean, when I did drink alcohol, that's when I was like before 21, and I did it for fun. I really haven't drank since like 21 years old. I, why did I stop drinking? Not because somebody said anything, not because of anyone. I didn't like how it made me feel. If something, you don't like the way something makes you feel, get away from it. You're supposed to get away from it. Especially if someone makes you feel bad, especially, you're supposed to get away from that person. Yeah. The Saint Nick thing, yeah, that gets a little confusing. But yeah, he probably was a real person, not. Yeah, you save yourself through God, through feeling life, and becoming aware of life. God bless everybody. We're going to be getting out of here today. I hope your life is filled with happiness and love. And I will be back tomorrow. I appreciate everyone for coming through. Yeah. We are all loved. Doesn't matter what you do, who you are. I appreciate you all for coming by. Thanks to everybody. Just spread kindness and try to help someone, some bug, maybe even some animal. You can be happiness right now. And you must express that happiness. If you don't express your love, if you don't express your happiness, then you're restricting it. If God restricted his love, we wouldn't even exist. We are just a part of him. I'm glad to be here with you all. On this worth, or on this worth, on this earth. I don't need to go shave. You don't need to tell me what to do. You can't control anybody. That's only in your imagination. And even if you do control somebody physically, you'll never control them mentally. And then you'll have to go tell all the other people in the world to shave. Good luck with that. Yeah, we all share the same spirit, the same love. Hello, Cerber Bro model. Thank you, Stetson. I'll trim not. Hold on. Doesn't matter if people make assumptions. Yeah. Well, no one gets on my nerves. Yeah. Because they're my nerves and they can't possibly get on my nerves. Yeah. At some point, I may not want to be around them. Yeah. But that's totally my choice. I'm always at work, Kun. Working now, working after this. I was working before. We're always in service to the world, to the Lord. Doesn't matter what I'm doing or where I'm going. God bless you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here, Jeremy. Yeah. When we die, everything that you thought was you, that you own, you never really owned it. It goes back to the earth, goes back to God. Thank you all you guys. I mean, marijuana it affects people differently. Yeah, and marijuana is not supposed to be bred to a certain THC level. That's misuse of it. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you do. It's were you happy before it? Are you most people are running from problems? You can do anything, but are you happy? Do you feel good? Yeah. Yeah. People. Yeah. I'll be here tomorrow morning. Yeah. But let's just say I've heard both ends. I've heard marijuana. It's some people get crazy anxiety from it. It makes some people sick. Okay. Some people have negative thoughts. Okay. But then I've heard I can't deny the other end. Some people, have positive thoughts. Some people calm down. And some people use it for pain. Yeah. Was a search for a bold line? Or was you to tell all this? That was all God's destiny for all those people. It's not a bad thing when you die because you're going back to heaven. You only assume and labeled it as something bad. Hello? And that's just your assumption. Yeah. And those people that died, their past lives, they could have been exterminating the whole world. And that's why they had to go through whatever they went through. Yeah. And you weren't there when it actually happened. So it's hard to verify what actually happened. That's a whole nother thing. You're just basing it off a story someone else told you. Which, yeah. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. All right, I'll see all you guys later. I love you all.